What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Kingdom Housing Podcast, where we talk real numbers, real challenges, and real impact in the world of group homes and independent living. Today's episode is going to be fire, and I'm sitting down with Kiara, aka the CNA to CEO, another powerful housing provider who's out here doing the work, not just talking about it. So we're going to dive into how they got started, the mistakes they made, and how they fill their homes, and the systems that keep everything running behind the scenes. So whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, this episode is packed with gems, so let's get into it.
As far as the independent living, there's no staff there, but I do have weekly meetings. I come over and do their medications. I kind of help with ADLs if needed. We can have a third party come in. So there's no care there involved. It's just basically structured.
Kiara, thank you so much for hopping in. How's your day going so far?
It's been going good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Kiara, tell us a little bit more about how you got started in the housing business. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Why do they call you the Miss CNA to CEO?
Well, it's kind of self-explanatory. CNA, of course, I've been in the healthcare field now for about 15 years. Started out as a home health aide, then CNA, and then got a bunch of other certifications under that. So that's where I got the name CNA to CEO. Now opening up my own senior residential care homes and group. So that's how it became about. Let's see, 2021 was my first group home. So
That's amazing. And did you always, like, as you were a CNA, were you like, all right, I'm going to open up one of these homes one day, or did it come about in a different way?
I think during COVID, because I was in nursing school and I just seen, of course, we all seen people, passing and see how quick it was for jobs to just shut down. And again, I was in nursing school. My children were in school and we were both going to school online at the same time. You can't do nursing school online. Um, so I was like, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. I see how they are nursing homes, assisted livings, treat the residents. And I just said, I'll open up my own. So that's what I did. I actually moved from Indiana. I went on my spiritual journey, like I said, during the COVID time, came to Texas. I did a turnaround, drove here. On the way here, I found out my children had COVID, so I couldn't stay. So I drove here, seen a property, and just said, hey, I'm moving there. And that's where I'm going to start my assisted living. I didn't know it was this big here, but it is because I'm from a small town, like I said, Louisville, Kentucky, but I lived in Indiana and it's small. So you don't see a lot of African Americans owning, assisted livings and different type of group homes. I didn't see that. So I thought that I was doing something like big, which I did, but I just brought it to Texas.
That's amazing. So, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a CNA in Indiana where you were living, and then you came to Texas, you switched into Miss CEO, and that's where you opened up your first home, right?
Yeah, I got in CEO mode before though.
Okay.
It starts with your mental. My mindset was already shifting because I knew when I came here, I didn't come to play, and I was coming here. I didn't want to come here to work for anybody. I didn't know that.
That's very smart. That's awesome. And so what's the wildest thing that's ever happened in one of your homes?
My first home, my first year, I have a friend that also has a home health agency. One of my first highest paying client, I believe he paid $5,000. At the time, I didn't really kind of know what it was, but he had sundowning. And me and my friend tag team, we used to work. She'll come and work some for her residents, and then I'll come and work some for my residents. This man chased her around the house with a shower rod.
Wow.
Yeah, so nobody got hurt though. But it just goes to show being careful with placing certain people with other individuals. So like I said, I was like, okay, 5,000, I'm a CNA, I can do this. I did this before, but he needed 24/7 care, not only just 24/7 housing, he needed a one-on-one. So that's what we were there for. That's what happened. He chased her around. I woke up out of my sleep. We got him calm and he was fine, but he just had sundowning. So those are the type of things that could happen with residents with sundowning.
Got you. Well, glad nobody got hurt. Glad your friend
Yeah.
was okay. But that's definitely a wild story. So, what kind of homes do you operate? There's lots of different types of group homes. People throw around the group home title. a lot. What kind of homes specifically do you operate and run in Texas?
I have two niches. I have what you call personal care home, which is also senior residential living. It is not a licensed home, meaning that we are not licensed by the state. We are permitted by the county. So that home, I like to say, I don't like to call it a nursing home because it's not, because nursing homes are skilled. This home just assists seniors with dementia, Alzheimer's, or who just may need someone there's 24/7 supervision. So I service that population, and I also service the independent population, but those who have mental, majority of the people in the independent population have mental health diagnosis of the homes that I have. So I still don't get paid from the state. Both of these homes are private pay. So they have Social Security, or they have long term care insurance, or it's just straight private pay.
Got you. And so your personal care homes, what's the big difference between a personal care home that is, you said, permitted through the county and a
Mhm.
licensed home that is licensed through the state? What's the difference there? Are you still providing care and services for the individuals at your home?
No, so you don't provide care per se. So the personal care home, the difference is between that and the independent living. The personal care home, you have staff because, of course, if someone is paying $3, $4, $5, $6,000, they obviously need certain things. So we offer medication reminders. We offer meals. Just someone there supervision for. I mean, someone there 24/7 for supervision, just in case of falls, or meals, laundry, basic anything that you can think of without the care. As far as the independent living, there's no staff there. But I do have weekly meetings. I come over and do their medications. I kind of help with ADLs if needed. We can have a third party come in. So there's no care there involved. It's just basically structured. They can live by themselves, but they need structure. They need someone to say, hey, it's time to take your medicine. Or they need someone to make their doctor's appointments for them, or dentist appointments, or just to stay on track. Some of them just, they can live by themselves, but they like the social of being in the home with other people. So
Got you. Very cool. Okay. And are your independent homes, are they permitted or licensed or anything like that?
yes, so they're also permitted per the Harris County boarding home permit. So we have the fire marshal come out, and then we also have the boarding home permit come out. So they have to be permitted per county rules.
Got you. And what were, when they came out for an inspection, were they looking for anything specific? Like, was it the same as going
Oh,
through a licensed home with the like fire sprinkler
might as well
systems and
go
stuff?
license.
Well,
Might as well go license. So that's kind of actually what I was doing in the last house. So I've had a total of 5 houses, but the last house that I have, which is the personal care home, let me just say the residential senior living home, because you want to take anything with care out of it. Um, so I was going to have that home assisted living, but was not able to do that. So I just stuck with the personal care home model. So yes, you do have to have your fire extinguishers, your evacuation maps, policies and procedures. You got to have your paperwork together as far as their folders. So you might as well go license. But with license, of course, it's a lot more to it with the doors and everything. And I actually did do that for that home because, as I stated, I was getting it permit. I was wanting to be licensed for assisted living. So it's kind of the same thing, but it dives a little bit more deeper when you're dealing with the state versus county.
got it. Interesting.
Mhm.
I'm sure other people are curious for your very first resident in your personal care home. Do you remember how much you were making for that individual?
3,000. So it started out at 3,000. I wasn't going under. I was like, okay, because again, I worked in assisted
Yep.
living, and the assisted living I worked in, they were paying 10,000, between $8,000 and $10,000. So I said, I can get $3,000. I know what I'm doing. I do the care. So $3,000, and then also a community fee, which is a lot of people don't talk about that, but 3,000 was my first resident.
Okay.
And I opened up December 1st, 2021. I got my first resident December 5th.
Let's go. So that $3,000, that's the first. I mean, you already had switched mentally in your mindset to CEO, but that was like first CEO paycheck, right? How
Mm-hmm.
did that feel?
It felt good because that one person, 3,000, that's what my check was as a CNA.
Wow.
So it felt really good, not just from a financial aspect, but the fact freedom aspect. I had caregivers when I first started off. I was actually still working when I first started off. I was on a contract here in Texas. So opened in December, and then January 2022, I haven't worked ever since then. So
That's amazing.
it's the freedom for me.
That's amazing. Yeah. So December 2021 got the first resident to come in January 2022. So like a month later, left
No, 5 days later
5 days
from a
later. Oh,
resident.
it was a,
Well, let's see, December 2021, the 1st is when I opened. December the 5th is when I got my resident. January the 13th was my last day at work. So,
okay. So a
mhm.
little less than a month later. Yeah. A little less than a month.
A couple days. But of course, it was work done prior to that. I didn't just open and just got, a resident. You do have to market before then. You do have to make your contacts. So it was things behind the scene that happened that I was supposed to open in November, but it didn't happen like that. But
Mm.
it happened after that, and shortly after I got my first resident.
That's
So,
amazing. That's amazing. And no, I was saying a little under a month that you left your 9 to 5 job completely.
oh
Not that you
yes,
got your first resident. That's only a
oh
couple
yes.
days.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. What would you say is the biggest mistake you made in that first year of operating? I guess in 2022, looking back, what's the biggest mistake you made?
The biggest mistake I made, one of them was being too comfortable.
Mm,
Don't get too comfortable. I stopped marketing because I was full. And I was like, okay, I'm full. My phone is ringing off the hook. I'm known. I'm full. So I stopped marketing because I was comfortable. So I would say, whatever you do, don't get too comfortable. Continue marketing. People always use, what is it, Ford or Lexus. You always are going to see a commercial, even though people buy their cars, but you always are going to see a commercial, any type of business. So do not stop marketing. It doesn't matter if you have 10 houses and they're all full. People always need to know about you because it's always someone else opening up these houses. And I'd rather bug you and get on your nerves and you see me than you not to see me. And then say, oh, well, I wonder if she's still around. No, I'm still around. But I got comfortable. So I would say don't get comfortable.
that's really good advice. What does marketing look like for you?
So it depends on the population that I'm marketing for. The higher paying population, which is the residential senior home, I go into places that obviously, that are higher value of people that can't afford those prices. So assisted living. To be in assisted living, you already have to have a little, cash to be
Hmm.
there. I have gotten some of my residents from the hospital placement agencies. I don't like to use placement agencies when you're starting out. That's fine, but don't get comfortable with using them because they shouldn't be filling your house up, because what if they find somebody else who has a better house or better rates? They're gonna go there. So placement agencies is one of them, but you could use, just don't be too dependent on them. Like I said, hospitals, nursing homes, basically anybody, because everybody has a parent,
Yep,
someone old in their family that may need housing. So
that's good. And it's not a residential care home. You said a residential.
senior living, the personal care
There we
home.
go.
Mhm.
Personal care home or residential senior living home. When you're marketing, is it all in person? Are you doing emails as well? Are you calling? What's kind of your marketing strategy look like for that if someone was trying to open up one of these homes?
So when I would say to make a name for yourself, and because I like to be personable, I always go face to face. I always go face to face and then follow up with a phone call or email. But once they know you, you can just, hey, and then sometimes just drop in. Also, you can set up your own networking events. People can know you like that as well. So I'm a face to face person. I like to go. I like to see. I like to do luncheons to let them know about me. Like I said, follow up emails, the cards, the calls, just send certain things to the office. There's so many things that you can do, but I'm a face to face person.
That's really good. I've never hosted a networking event for case
You
managers.
should.
How does that go? Do you just get an area and bring some food and just invite them out, or is there more to it than that?
Yes, no. So, of course, you will have your marketing material, your banners, your cards, and everything. And actually, the first one I did when I first was started at my second home, and I had sponsors because these are people of hospice, home health. They want to be in your home, so they will sponsor it. You don't have to pay for any food or anything.
Wow.
All you have to do is just get the word out, and then people will start coming, and then Of course, you say your speech, you tell them what you have to offer, and then you have these other professionals there that could add to your business. Like I said, hospice, home health, PT, OT, they all are going to bring you residents, because if they know that there's a safe home for them to visit, then they can come to that safe home, and then they will help you fill your home up. So
That's really good. How'd you go about getting the sponsors for the event as you were, kind of bringing it to life, the event in general?
well, actually, I was working with the hospice company, and they knew I was opening up my second home.
Nice.
And they asked, and they said, "Hey, you don't have to buy anything. We'll do it." And I was like, "You all are about the food and everything?" And they said, "Yeah, well, let us know how many people, and we'll come." Again, because they're marketing there too, so they want to put their business out there. So they actually offered, and then after that, I started looking for sponsors. Like, "Hey, would you like to sponsor this networking event?" And they rarely say no, because these are bigger companies. They have a corporate card. So, that's part of their marketing as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Very, very smart too. Taking it all the way from CNA to CEO, using the
Yes.
strategies. If you were to lose it all and you only had $1,000 left, what would you do to get back to where you are today?
So I've actually lost it all before. First of all, taking a mental break. That's the first thing. You can't properly care for others if you're not, where you need to
That's
be.
good.
But I would definitely say, if I only had $1,000, I would pitch myself to these landlords like I did at first, but I had the money at first to do what it is that I needed to do. But I would move solely on partnership. So if I didn't have the money to get the homes, I would want to partner with someone, of course, who has the same work ethic as me. And if they have the money, hey, I'll do this. This is my job, and then you do this. So everything is about collaboration. You can only get so far by yourself.
That's really good. Really great advice. And I like the taking the mental break first because, when you're opening up these homes, you're dealing with so many different personalities, right? So if you aren't good, it's going to be really tough for you to accept, receive, and pour into the clients that are coming into your home looking, for that safe haven. So that's really good.
Hmm.
What do you look for when choosing a property or a landlord partner? What do you typically look for in an individual?
That's a good question. So for my senior house, I typically look for like a one level home, because they need that. They can't do too many steps. I typically look for a nice neighborhood, because again, if you're asking for a certain amount, these people want to be in a nice area. And I don't like HOAs. I'm not saying not to do them, but I specifically don't like HOAs. And I've been blessed. None of my houses have ever been in a HOA. So, but that's because I look for homes in non HOA areas. I look for homes with big windows. For the senior residential, I look for homes to where, if I needed to, I can convert like the shower for the seniors for wheelchair accessibility. I actually converted a whole home that was not mine. That was another mistake, but
Okay.
it was an investment. I did it based off the audience that I was looking for to be able to get the higher paying clients. So that's typically, I know some people do two levels. So in one of my homes, it is a two story, and those are for people they can walk up and down the steps. But once your house is filled and everybody, let's just say if a resident declines, if they can't go up the steps, they have to leave your home because it's unsafe. So I would just say look for houses that's one level, nice neighborhood, possibly on the bus route, depending on your niche. Look in neighborhoods, the neighbors are not nosy. When you go in a neighborhood, check out the neighborhood. I ride to the neighborhoods, especially at nighttime as well, because in the daytime it looks totally different at nighttime. Some neighborhoods. So also, when I look on Zillow, and Har is one of the ones we have. I look for properties that's been sitting on the market for 60 days,
Smart.
because those are the ones that's like, my property sitting here, I ain't got no money. So then I come in and I offer 2 months rent and deposit, and I'm in there.
Okay.
So yeah, so those are the things that I look for. Also, homes that's particularly by a hospital or day habs, things like that. So,
Very cool. So in a community area near a hospital, you said look for the ones on Zillow that have been listed for 60 days or more, because they have that desperateness is in the air, right? You can kind of
Yep.
smell it. Haven't gotten a check in 2 months, and then you said you usually come in and offer 2 months rent up front plus a deposit. So it's like, hey, here's the makeup of what you just lost over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I love that.
But I negotiate my price too. So if I'm offering you 2 months, I'm negotiating my price a little bit because I have the 2 months up front and the deposit. So, and also when you're starting out, because that's what I did with my first home, you don't know how it's going to go. So you don't want to be deeper in the hole. So let me go ahead and cover these bills, the bigger bills at least. That way, if I don't get anyone, at least the biggest part is covered, which is the rent.
Gotcha.
So,
Very smart. And how many homes do you operate out of right now? And do you own the homes or lease the homes?
so I operate out of 3 homes, and no, I lease all the homes.
Nice. And are they all or I guess how many are there for the senior living home?
Residential,
Senior residential
residential
live.
senior housing. However,
I'm
but
gonna get it.
we want to keep the word care out.
All right. So senior residential living, right? There
Hmm.
we go. Senior
Hmm.
residential living, and how many are the independent living?
So one is the senior residential living because obviously that's the one that makes the most money, has
Mhm.
staff, needs staff, and then the other two are the independent homes, the independent living homes.
Nice. That's really cool. And I guess for your next home, well, actually not your next home, which one do you like better? Like, do you like operating the senior living home better or the independent living home better, and why?
I would say I don't know which one I like. Well, I'll give you the pros and cons. So the senior home, I'm used to seniors. That's what I've been doing for a while. So I'm used to it. They're sweet. You're like, oh, you kind of get to baby them. They baby you too. But that home requires the most work. Like I said, you have staff. You're not only dealing with the residents, you're dealing with the residents, the families, and your staff. That's 3 sets of people. That's a lot.
Yep.
The independent homes, the homes that I have, these are people who have mental health diagnosis. The house will run itself, but you do have to make sure that you have certain things in place. So I would say to be more hands off to start with the independent home. I like it because you don't have to be over there as much, but you do need to be over there. You do need to have cameras. You do need to set meetings. You do need to set boundaries and have it structured. So I would say about the same. Will I open another at this moment? No, because I'm going into something else. But eventually I am going to open up a luxury assisted living.
Luxury assisted living. Love that.
Hmm.
Let's go. Let's go. Taking it to the next level. So,
Yeah.
I want to learn more about your independent living homes. There's a ton of different demographics you can house in those homes, right? All the way from veterans to people fleeing domestic violence situations. But it sounds like your primary audience in your two homes are individuals with mental health issues. Do they require any sort of like staff there or anything like that, or are they able to take care of themselves?
No, so they do not require staff, and majority of them are schizophrenic and bipolar. And I have my brother is schizophrenic and bipolar, so that's why I kind of cling to that
Yep.
demographic. But they don't need anybody there with them per se, like a 24/7 person or anything like that, because the people that I choose, I make sure that it's a fit for the whole house. I just don't stick somebody in a room with somebody. Like I have to make sure it's a fit because one person with schizophrenic and bipolar and then another person with schizophrenic and bipolar can bump heads and there you have a
Yep.
fight. But majority of my people have literally been with me since I started. So I don't have a high turnover. Yeah, I don't have a high turnover because they're like family. We practice love. And these are a bunch of men. I just deal with men, by the way. I tried the co-ed thing. I just deal with men. So my guys, they really are a family. They tell each other they love each other. Like I said, they do argue, but at the end of the day, they know that they have to live with one another. And this is not just a house. This is home for them. So,
That's really good.
but I like both. I like both.
That's really good. And when you were looking into securing your home, I get comments from people, and I'm sure you get them too. And maybe they'll reach out to a landlord, and the landlord maybe won't accept, or it's taking a little bit for them to hear back from a landlord. How did you handle pushback, or negotiations or just the overall objections that a landlord may ask when it comes to you saying, hey, I want to use your home for
Mm-hmm.
X?
So I would say my first home, my landlord, he was really nice. All you need is one person to give you a chance, because after that he had multiple houses and I didn't want to just open them up back to back. So I gave him the people who I was mentoring. But we kind of ran into like a little, he wanted to know the prices of my beds.
Mm,
And I was like, no, you don't need to tell them the prices of your beds, because at the end of the day, that's your business. They don't need to know everybody who's on the lease. Again, that's your
yep.
business. It's either you're going to let me rent this home, as a business owner, and I conduct the business out of it, or not. But they typically, now I'm seeing, they want to know how much you charge for your beds, because they're going to up the price on the rent. And I've seen it go up $1,000, not just a couple hundred. They've tried to say, oh, okay, well, since you're running a business, an extra $1,000. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
How do you
So
handle
never
that
tell them
objection?
I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
That's good.
Because this business is not like, the lease is not based on how much I make, and that's what you're gonna get. No, we
Right.
need a flat rate. So yeah, I've had that twice, and I'm just like, I really wanted one of the properties, but I was like, I sat down and did all my numbers, and I'm like, no, it's not worth it. And then after that, of course, I found the house. You're gonna get a bunch of no's, but again, it's all you need is one yes, and then that you can add to your profile. You can add that person as a reference, and being that these models are popular right now, I think a lot of landlords are leaning toward group home, boarding home, assisted living owners, because they know they can charge a little bit more for their property.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
mm,
And it's typically, they can, like, at least for my landlord partners, like I always say, they don't take me up on it, but I'm like, hey, you could have extra access to the property if you want to stop by or something like that. Sure, let's do it. I have the security cameras there, to where traditional
mhm,
rental, some landlords, they don't step foot in the home again until after that person or that family is leaving out, so they have no
yeah,
idea what's going on with their property.
yeah.
Um,
And I also reassure them that basically you're just going to be collecting rent. I come with my own maintenance crew. When I first said that, I didn't come with a maintenance crew, but I would have found one. But it sounded good, because just the fact that you don't have to do anything but collect your funds. I'm going to make sure that the grass is cut. Any minor things that go on in the house, I'm going to make sure that my maintenance crew handle it. And if it's an AC or anything like that, you got to handle that. But other than that, your property, will be well kept, safe, and you don't have to worry about anything. Your money is going to be in your account when it's supposed to be in there, and that's it. And normally, again, they often say, "Okay, it sounds good. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do no maintenance. You won't be calling me for this and that." And that's kind of how I got into my first home.
I
So,
love that. I got my maintenance crew. You don't have to worry about anything. That's really good because you can essentially, and then if something
mhm,
breaks, you just find a maintenance person, just like the landlord
yeah,
would do. And after a while, if you have to use them for a couple things, they can be, your maintenance team.
yeah. I do have a maintenance team now.
So
After I said it a million times.
there we go. You spoke it into existence.
Yep.
That's
So
that's
yeah.
awesome. On your resident side of things, and I know for the senior residential living home
Mhm.
that you have 24/7 staff there, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So they're pretty much looked after. They have someone there all the time. On your independent living homes, how do you make sure that the residents are getting along with each other?
So we do have cameras at all the homes. Number one, again, it's mandatory every Monday that I'm over there having the meetings. I will pop in whenever. So if they know that you're coming,
Hmm.
they'll be on their best behavior. Again, you have to make sure that you're rooming them correctly. Of course, like I said, they're gonna butt heads. They've been there for a long time. They became family. So it's not that many issues. Also, when you're first going in, you have to lay down rules. So when I first started the personal care home, again, that's seniors. So I was all sweet, and then when I had to start dealing with the other population, they don't take to that. They will run over you. Even though they have mental health diagnosis, they know what they're doing and they will run over you. So I had to kind of get a little stern and say, hey, this is what we're not going to do, or this is what we're going to do. So and again, they know that I love them. Like I show it. It's not just, okay, yeah, I'm only coming over here when it's time to collect
Hmm.
rent. That's not the type of housing that I have. So holidays, we're doing stuff. Birthdays, everybody gets a cake and we sing happy birthday and a gift. So we are definitely like a family. So I don't have that many issues. I'm not saying I don't have any, but not that many that I can't handle.
That's amazing.
It's the typical.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so every Monday, you do a meeting or you stop by. Is it a mandatory for the individuals to be at that meeting too?
Yep. Yep. Everybody has to be there. We discuss what happened over the weekend. That's really when the arguments come out because they're like, and I'm like, well, what happened? And I do give them a chance to speak with me one on one besides the meeting. So we discuss what happened over the weekend. We discuss the menu for the following week, the next week. We discuss medications, if anybody needs any appointments, or if they just want to come and talk. So on Mondays, it's probably my longest days at the independent house because I sit over there, I play, and we just talk. And like I said, make sure everything is handled. But yes, residents know that every Monday, and they normally all just be in the living room waiting. I'll be doing late. They be early.
That's really good.
So
And you mentioned discussing the meal. So do you provide food for the homes as well, or do you have someone that goes in and cooks?
the independent homes, no. So you have to either have a food program, which is additional funds, or they have SNAP benefits, food stamps. But I do the grocery shopping, and I just do Walmart.com, or I'll go get a bulk of meats and then do the rest online and have it delivered. That's a chore of theirs. They have to make sure that the refrigerator is cleaned out before any groceries or anything comes. So it's still teaching them life skills because again, some of them don't have a lot of life
Hmm.
skills. So it's teaching them life skills as well, but I don't provide food. For the residential home, senior home, I do because that's all inclusive.
Got you. Very cool.
Mhm.
And so for the independent living folks, so are you collecting their SNAP or their food stamps, and then you're purchasing the items essentially through like Walmart and having it delivered, it sounds like, to the home?
Yes, and I know in other states, again, they don't have to do that, but Harris County, you can't just have anybody cooking. They have to have a food handler's permit. So, and then again, I can't have. So one of my houses, my permit is 10 people.
Mhm.
I can't have 10 people in the kitchen cooking. It just ain't gonna work like that. So one person or a couple people are appointed to the ones that can cook because a lot of people don't know how. That's one of the life skills that they don't have. So yes, we collect their SNAP benefits. We do have them sign a paper. It's not us collecting it, but hey, when you get your SNAP benefits, we're gonna put it on the card, and this is what we're gonna order. So.
That's
Mhm.
really good. I love that. And so that actually leads into my next question. What systems or tools do you use to, manage all of this? You got three homes, two that are operated completely different from the other one to where you got staff coming in 24/7. What are you doing to, keep your mind at ease with all this going on?
Well, there's a CRM system that I use that a guy had made for me. And then, of course, QuickBooks, paperwork. Like I said, I'm a kind of old school. I like to see the things, even though a lot of paperwork, irks me, but I need to see it. So they have binders as well. So binders that stay in the home in case someone comes, fire marshals, doctors, they have a book to sign off on, and then they have a binder that stays in the office, which has all their information in it. Clinicals, if I got clinicals on them, payment information and everything like that. So um you just adjust. I guess I've just adjusted and I have my own flow going. Also my father came in town to help me stay for a couple of months and he's a cook. So he went to each one of my houses and cooked and made sure everything was good. Yeah, so you do have to have some support. You do have to have help again with the type of individuals I'm serving. So
That's amazing. So CRM system, QuickBooks, You got your binder set up with everyone's documents.
Mm-hmm.
Is the CRM, is that a custom build just for you, or is that something other people can go online and take a look at for their, senior
Yeah, I think
residential home?
he made it. He's a tech guy. So one day I was like, you know what? I don't know
Like
if
he
you all
made
know
it
what
just for
Epic
you.
means, like an Epic system in the hospital. Again, majority of the things that I'm trying to implement is because I've already been in it, but this is me implementing it in my business. So I was like, I need a system. I want to put my resident's picture in the system. So, because I've been on the road several times and I get a call from somebody's going to the hospital. And they're like, oh, what's their social? Well, I'm like, I got 40, 30 something people. I don't know this person's social. But if I have my phone and my system is on my phone, I can easily go in there, give them their social, their resident form, the resident face sheet is at the house that has that information on there. So trial and error has made me implement these things. I didn't have all these things when I first started. So
Very cool. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, systems are important, and it sounds like you have them both digitally, and then you also have your non-digital systems as well. So very cool. And for your homes that you have right now, I know you got three of them, and you said you dropped the bomb on us that the next move for you is to go into the luxury assisted living. Is that something that you're gonna look to purchase, or do you prefer to rent and have landlord partners?
most definitely purchase, but that's a little down the line because I've kind of stepped into some other things. I'm in school for psychology. I'm big on mental health. So I'm definitely going to purchase because I want to make it what I want to make it. So, and you keep more of your revenue, when it's yours.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
one more
And
of your
so back,
profit, I'm sorry, when it's yours.
yep. Back to school for psychology. Is that what do you plan on doing with that?
So I want to be a psychologist. All my friends and everything always call me and talk to me my whole life. And I'm the go-to person. And I didn't know, like I said, I always been in the healthcare field and my dream and my goals and what I feel like I'm put on this earth to do is to serve and help. So I
Mm,
said, let me go back for mental health. Let me go back for psychologist. I've already tried the nursing and you know, no. So now in psychology, because when I get in my 40s, I just want to be able to turn on my laptop and do telehealth and go on about my business. Because taking care
I
of people
love
is a
it.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, you mentioned something huge with this serve. That word serve. I love that. How would you say this business has stretched or grown your faith life?
It's been several times, and I have mentees, and I tell them, and I really because I have children as well. Giving back is not something that is practiced. Like it's something that has to be in you to do.
Mm,
It's been plenty of times that I didn't eat, but I made sure they ate. It's been plenty of times that my bills at my home was not paid, but the bills at the business had to be paid. So again, that's just my way. God is telling me this is what I want you to do. It's been plenty of times that I said I don't want to do this anymore
wow.
because it's a lot. Again, I have children, so you are so consumed with the business, and it's not just I'm consumed with the business. I'm consumed with them because they don't have family. Majority of the people that I got, they don't have family, and I'm like, God, you keep sending me people that don't have family. Like I have to be their go-to person. So when I'm saying serving, that's what I mean. It's just not a business for me. I'm actually out here doing God's word. He's sending me the people that need to feel that love, that
Mhm.
needs the consistent validation. I'm not a therapist, but I talk to them all the time for hours. When it's holiday time, I'll go over there, I'll call, hey, I'm just checking on you. And you just never know. They're regular people like we are. So when I say serve, that's what I mean by serving. Sometimes doing things that you don't want to do or that does not benefit you, but it benefits somebody else. So
Very good. That's a blessing.
yes.
Well, thank you. If you haven't heard it today, thank you for all the work you're doing for the individuals that you're helping. What would you say to somebody who, feels like they're called to open up, whether it be a residential senior living home?
Mhm.
I'm getting it. I'm
You
getting it.
are.
Residential senior living home or an independent living home, but they're scared to get started. What would you say to that person?
I would say do it scared. Again, it's been plenty of times where I'm scared, but me being fearful is not going to stop me from serving and doing what it is that God is telling me to do. Always do your research. Also, some things that helped me even when I was stuck in the midst of, even after I was open for a year or so. Sometimes that I got down, I have friends who have assisted livings and friends that have these type of homes and other homes. I might go in their home or in their assisted living and kind of get my mojo back, like, oh, okay, you got to have a village. You got to have a village. I know everybody's like, I want to do this by myself. Again, collaboration over everything. So I would say do your due diligence, your research, yeah, support system. Make sure that this is something that you want to do, and how you can do that is start off small. I know some people that actually have people in their home. They may take one or two people in their home to see if this is indeed what it is that I want to do. So,
Yep. I've seen that happen as well. I
mm-hmm.
love that. Well said. My final question for you, and it's not really a question, is I need you to finish this sentence for me if you can.
Mm-hmm.
So the group home business to me is
serving. The group home business is you being a servant to others.
powerful, very powerful. Kiara, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure learning more about your story, hearing how you're making a great impact in the Houston area, and where you came from and how you got the name from the CNA to CEO. It's very catchy.
Yes.
If someone's interested in connecting with you and following along your journey as you work towards, through psychology school and opening up the luxury assisted living home, where can they stay connected with you at?
So you all can follow me on Facebook. I believe my name is Kiara Douglas, my first and last name. And then on TikTok, CNA to CEO. I also have an ebook as well. I have a couple classes, pre-recorded classes that you can purchase. And I do offer mentorship. So
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Yeah. And guys, I follow her on TikTok, CNA to CEO. She posts some good stuff on there. So go ahead and go check it out. And we'll put your information down in the show notes as well.
okay, and thank you for what you do. I see you, and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy, he know his stuff. So thank you. We appreciate you because I like some of your content, and I said, I'm gonna do some of that.
There we go. There we
We
go.
always got to be a student. I don't care how long you've been into something. It's always learning. So you never stop learning. That's how you get better.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the kind words. Any parting words for the audience that you would want to share to someone out there that's listening?
I would basically just say, like Terrence stated, there's a lot of people that are scared. Anything in life, a lot of things we are stopped because we don't fulfill our destiny because we're scared. Do it scared. There's millionaires, there's people who own these mega corporations, churches. I'm sure when people get up there and talk, they're scared, but don't let fear stop you. Don't let fear stop you. You'll never know. I would I think I posted this the other day. I would rather die trying than sitting there saying, "Oh, I wish I would have." I don't want to wish I would have. I want to do it, and if I fail at it, at least that I know that I tried. So do it scared.
That's good. That's really good. One of my virtual mentors, and I stole this line from him. He says, "Done is better than perfect because perfect's never done."
I
Oh
like that.
man, that's good.
I like
Just
that.
get it done. It's never gonna be perfect for I'm an introvert overthinker. It's not gonna may not play out how you see it as your head initially, but if you just keep doing it, or like you said, do it scared. Just do it scared and walk through it.
And there's no perfect timing. Because I used to say that, oh, let me wait till this. Oh, let me wait till that. You'll be waiting because there's no perfect timing. So just do it.
Just do it scared. I love it. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on, and hope you have a blessed rest of your day.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You too.